All right. Thought we'd make some jokes about this early in the 9 o'clock hour, and it's grown into a massive topic here. TJ Watt's Instagram post where he throws the deuces up. We're asking, what the hell does that mean? Well, then Ian Rappaport this morning on NFL Network says, generally when players post this, it means negotiations are not going as they had hoped. All right, we bring on Jeff Hathhorn, our sports director. That was speculation by Ian Rappaport. And, Jeff, we invite you to speculate away if you would like to, or if you've heard anything about those contract negotiations between the Steelers and TJ Watt. What have you heard?
I think I've figured it out, boys. All right. He's 2 fingers, right? So the king of the jungle would be a lion. The second in pecking order would be a tiger. Another name for tiger, or breed of tiger, is Bengal. He wants to be traded to the Bengals.
Jeff figured it out. and they could just pay him instead of Trey Hendrickson.
Right. I mean, they need a guy. Listen, I think, is there a little something to that? Maybe. I also think this. I'm sure the agent went, hey, we need to put a little pressure here on. Put a little pressure on here. We need to, you want another taco deal? We got to get your name out there a little bit more. It's not as upfront as some of the other guys. So why don't we post something that gets everybody talking?
Jeff,
doesn't have to be anything controversial, just a picture.
Jeff, would you trade him? And if so, what do you think he would fetch in a trade?
Would I consider it? I mean, it would have to be something that was insane to consider it. But no. Because if you're the Steelers and you think you can win every year without TJ Watt, I don't know how you could keep that with a straight face. So I don't think that's the plan. I don't think they're even listening. It would take something that would be insane. And remember, guys, it took until 2 days before the first game of the year last year before that contract got done with the younger TJ Watt. I mean, this is probably going to just be prepared for a lot of twists and turns and a lot of emojis and a lot of stuff going on between now and the first game.
I tell you who's not getting traded, Jeff, and he's on the Mount Rushmore of nicest people in Pittsburgh sports, and that's Jerry DePaula, who is going to be hanging it up after Saturday, Pitt spring game. Your thoughts on one of the nicest people I've ever met?
The thing I admire about Jerry is he has so much humility. Like, he's just there to do his job. It's not a look at me thing. He can take jokes. Like, he doesn't take himself so seriously that he gets offended by something that Arduzzi says to him. And if you notice, who's the one that's asking him the questions about injuries? Right? Like, it's Jerry's way of trying to find out that information. But I admire what Jerry does, how hard he's worked over all these years. I mean, I don't want to give away Jerry's age, but I mean, he's climbing those OC lot steps, after every game, and he doesn't complain. He just goes to work and does his job. That's the thing I love about Jerry.
53 years covering Pittsburgh sports.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Wow.
53 years.
I guess Pitt's honoring him, or did that happen? Am I blowing the?
I think it's going to be happening this morning. So
it's going to be. I'm just going to shut up.
Be on the lookout for a little something for Jerry.
So Jeff, your thought is 100% TJ Watt is going to get a deal from the Steelers.
Yes, that's my thought. That 100% they're going to get a deal done. Again, it probably is not going to be smooth. It is not going to be, it's going to get people talking all year, which is great for our business because much like last time, I don't see this getting done right away. And I don't see TJ as a guy that's a hometown discount, if you will, nor should he be. I'm not saying he should, but, TJ knows this is probably the last big contract and he's going to want what he thinks is fair.
Jeff, isn't it it's amazing that this year, I mean, we go into the draft and we get to April and we're excited to see what the Steelers are going to do, but I just can't, I'm ultra excited this year, more than I have been in the past because they can go any direction. Like, they have so many needs, but also I see some quality players that have high evaluations in the first round slipping to 21. Like, I just feel like that it is it's very anonymous feeling right now with the Steelers because I have no idea what direction they're going to go in, and they can go in so many different ones and get a quality player.
No, actually, you're wrong, Dorin. You know before all of us.
You're right.
Damn it.
You're right.
You're going to know before everybody
Cheater.
who they pick. But, yeah, I think those 10 minutes, depending on who's off the board, is going to be fascinating. Like, because everybody's going to be thinking, man, could it be, is Grant still available? Is Emeka Ibuka still available? Is Amarian Hampton still? Would they go running back? Or, man, Jackson Dart sitting there, or Shador fell all the way down. Are the Steelers going to pull the trigger on this? Or is there some other move for day 2 where they're going to get a second rounder, maybe fall back? Like, there's just so many options for the Steelers in this draft that it is. I agree with you. It's always fun from a fan perspective when a quarterback is in the mix, because even the casual fans know or care about quarterbacks.
Speaking of quarterback, will Aaron Rodgers be a Pittsburgh Steeler before the NFL draft?
So what was it? It was draft week with the Jets.
I think it was draft day.
I know that. So it's a situation where Tomlin has said, oh, we can wait until training camp now. They want to know. I think, we're closing in. I think Art made some reference to it at the owners' meeting about the window shutting, or however he phrased it. But they have to have an idea, at least going into OTAs. Not that if he signs, he has to be at every OTA, but he's at least got to show up a little bit, get to know the guys a bit. I know he'll figure out the offense. Like, that isn't a concern, but just getting to be around the guys, even if it's only a couple of those days for a couple of those practices, I think is big before you go to Latrobe.
My guess is no on this, Jeff, but I'd love your opinion on it. Does Aaron Rodgers affect their draft decision at quarterback at all?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think if Shador Dart are there and they want them, I think they'll pick them. I mean, it used to be more the norm, and the Steelers are more old school with a lot of things. And even with Kenny had to fight his way, even as a first-round pick, to eventually become the starting quarterback. If they were to take Dart or Sanders and they have Aaron Rodgers, I think it would be a similar battle to where he could sit a year, whoever that quarterback would be, even if it's a first-rounder. I don't think they think as aggressively or are in such, or they don't have lower expectations of some other teams where they're willing to put a rookie out there. It just doesn't seem, it just hasn't been historically, while they have changed some things, how the Steelers operate.
Jeff, I've grown over the years. I used to love baseball. I fell out of love of baseball for a long time and just focused on football. But I fell back in love with baseball a few years ago because my kids started playing baseball, and I'm back on the train. Like, I know what's going on, and I love talking about baseball. But can you answer me this? Why? And I know that the Pirates are the Pirates, and we're crushing them lately for rightfully, for so many reasons. Why would a baseball team in Major League Baseball have the worst batter on the team batting first, like Jack Swinsky? What can a baseball person tell me why that makes sense? Because I can't figure it out.
Yeah, I can't say I can figure that out either, because he doesn't have a high on base percentage. He strikes out a lot. He's coming off a bad year. Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, they've had 5 different leadoff guys, 5 different cleanup guys, and and listen, last year they had 127 different lineups, but the Yankees had 124. So as much as it's the lineup that people rip Shelton, and I think there is a little bit to that, it's about talent. Like, they just don't have the talent of some other teams. But I'm with you there, Dorin. Like, I don't get that. I'd almost rather see Cruz in the leadoff spot with Reynolds hitting behind him than I would what we're seeing now. Or I get the 9-1, but IKF has been your most consistent hitter through 2 weeks. And he's a smart hitter. Like, put him up there at the top.
Dorin, well, you were winding up for that question. Jeff, you're probably the same way. I had no idea what direction you were going to go in, my man, because there's so many friggin' things you could have asked. So many, dude.
I was done, and I've grown over the years. Like, you have grown.
Yeah.
Now, what I would say, because I have to ask you this, because our friend Jeff Hathhorn is a nice golfer himself.
Great golfer.
where does the Masters rank in the pantheon of sporting events for you? And B, more importantly, who's your favorite this week?
Yeah, it's up there because it's the first. I think that's what, and it's the only one that's at the same course every year. I think that makes it really special. Man, I'll get my heart broken again, but I'm going to go with Rory. Rory's my guy. I admire him so much for being the face of the PGA Tour when they were going through all that stuff. Like, no one else stood up. He stood there and took all of it and represented them. And I hope he gets rewarded with a major. I really do. I'm not saying he's a perfect guy, but I respect him for that. He's the only guy with multiple wins on tour this year. So he's playing well. I'm going with Rory.
Terrific stuff, Jeff, as always, buddy. And we will talk to you next Tuesday. Appreciate it.
And boys, spring game. We'll see y'all Saturday at 1.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
That's right. All right, Jeff. Take care now. Talk to Jeff next Tuesday.